Welcome to Construction with LaRhonda Marie. I am your girl, LaRhonda Marie, and as always, I am super excited about my conversation today. We had to postpone it by a week, so that just means more information, more time, more thoughts have gone through my head, what I can ask. So she might have some extra questions that she don't know anything about, but at any rate, I will let my next guest introduce herself. Of course, y'all know I am a correspondent for swagher.net magazine, and so I do have some housekeeping items to do. So during this broadcast, you can support my page by sending those stars. If you send those digital gifts, will earn me money. We use our stars to hire more journalists and content creators while supporting other Black-owned businesses, hoping to create an ecosystem that brings about success for all involved. If you find value in the content, tell a friend about a friend and send those stars. All right. So I'm back from Houston, y'all. I'm back from Houston. Me and my daughter, we left on Sunday. Sunday from Oklahoma City to Houston, and we got back on Monday. Okay, so your girl is still it's Thursday, right? I'm still trying to get over the Houston concert, the Houston travel. I want y'all to know that I was part of the mute challenge. My daughter, I'm so glad they told me about it because I didn't even know about it. Because I'm the type that if I'm going to a concert, I don't look on social media. I want to get all my money's worth. I want to be surprised. And so they was talking about some mute challenge, and we won it. So I am going to show that at the end, so y'all can see that I was part of the mute challenge, that I am that Beehive fan. We were in the place and we won it. So I'm going to have something to say about that. So, hey guys, I got a couple of other things that swagher.net wants to let you know. So I'll be right back in just a minute. Then we'll bring my guest right on. Just a moment.
Swag Her Magazine is an empowerment and lifestyle publication for Black women who like to be real with themselves and in business. The magazine also offers public relations services and visibility coaching for Black women-led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they receive more exposure and grow their brands. To learn more about Swag Her Magazine, please visit www.swagher.net. That's www.swagher.net. Check our swag. We're more than a mag.
So if you need to increase your visibility, jog on over to swagher.net magazine, and they will get you all set up with different things. I don't want to waste any more time. I want to go ahead and get my guest on. Go ahead and give me thumbs up if you're ready, ma'am. All right. Hello.
What's going on?
It's going good. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you.
When I first saw you on social media, I'm not gay or anything, but you was probably like a girl crush because you were working out though. You were on your workout. You were on your journey. And so I went along with it with you for like the last probably 2 or 3 years.
Oh my God.
So you never know who's watching you. You never know. That's one
so
thing.
Great.
You never know who's watching you. And I'm not a person that always be like, I'm on here,
Right.
but because sometimes you just don't have time to say what you want to say. But
right.
I want to say you're awesome. Everything that your testimony is a true testimony. And when I saw you with a new face, I was like, oh my gosh, she's just doing big things. Like she's doing stuff. Like when I seen that the girls didn't get to go to, we're gonna get into all that. I was heartbroken right with you, so like it's people watching you that you probably have no idea is watching. And I just wanted to say, I appreciate you representing us so well.
No problem. And thank you. Thank you
so
for the support. I mean, The support that I've been receiving is just, it makes me so grateful. Like so thank you for sharing that with me, because it just, because like you said, you never know who's watching. So I'm glad that you could be inspired and that you got on your workout journey. I love to hear it.
And I thought it was cool that you thought about having a credit, like a credit program for young people, so young, because I always felt like I graduated in '94, but when I got out on my I was a young wife and a young mother, and credit was never something that we discussed. So when I saw you, when I saw that you had started that, like at the very beginning stages, I was like, oh my God, that's the best idea. Like, we should know in middle school what's up with it, because credit is so important, and it's almost too late once you find, like when you finally find out, like when I was the age I was, it's too late. Not too late, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do when it's not at the forefront. So anyway, go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
Absolutely. Well, I am De'iona Monay, as LaRhonda Marie said, and thank you, first of all, before I get started, for having me on. I think you have a wonderful brand. I was so excited to get on here, so thank you so much for having me today. But my name's De'iona Monay, and I'm founder and president of TEA Foundation. TEA stands for Teen Empowerment Academy. We're formerly known as EXFA Foundation because we did start off as a financial literacy. We were all about financial literacy. And that's pretty much what I do. That's like my bread and butter. It's my passion. I was a troubled teenager. I know, LaRhonda, you know my story. And it was just something, I started off doing adults, fixing their credit. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, man, I really wish that I could do some preventative maintenance. I really wish that I could go back and catch the teens before they get out of high school, before they mess up the credit.
Right.
Because I started noticing that even adults, didn't have the education. I mean, they would come to me, get their credit restored, and then things like COVID happens. You lose a job, your credit score goes back down, and then they're coming right back to me.
Right.
And with me, I'm such a giver. I'm so community driven. So I just felt like I was just taking people's money. Like, I did not like how that felt. I'm just like, I don't really feel like, yes, I'm restoring their credit and they get in a much better position, but they don't know what I did. So in 2 years, they're right back to square one. And I just didn't like how that felt. So I'm like, I'm not going to leave the adults hanging to dry or anything, but I'm definitely going to, go back and get our teenagers. And so that's what I've been doing ever since. I mean, you can tell it was definitely God ordained, because from the moment that I spoke it into existence in 2019, literally probably like 6 months later, I was in high schools. I was, all over the nation. So it's been wonderful. So yeah, so that's what I do. 24 hours.
I was gonna ask that. How has that been? Like, is your calendar just booked? Because I feel like that's a class. That's something that we should have, like, as a 9 weeks or a semester class on credit. So how often are you getting to go to different schools?
Right now, it's pretty often. So like, for instance, that's one of the other new things. I just actually relocated to Arizona. So I'm no longer in Oklahoma, but of course I still got so much business there. So I'll be coming back to Oklahoma in October, the end of October. And I'll be at literally like 5 public schools. The great thing, to answer your question though, is that I found a way to really formulate a curriculum where I can teach a teenager all about financial literacy within 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
So that's what's really been allowing me to like hit a lot of ground, and really just get people the education they need. Even in my credit and cocktails workshops that I do for adults, I can literally give you the game in an hour, enough information to where you can take it, run with it. Because really what I'm doing and what I wanted to do from the start, my vision is I wanted to give a blueprint. When I got out of high school, like you were mentioning earlier, while we were in high school, we didn't know anything about credit. We didn't know anything about investing. I hadn't even never really heard of stocks besides, rich people get obsolete from it, I didn't understand any of that. So I really wanted to give adults and youth a blueprint. You know, if you're an adult and you need your credit restored, I'm going to give you 4 steps to restore your own credit. You know, if you're an entrepreneur and you need to build business credit, I'm going to give you a blueprint, steps on how to do it. And so that was the vision. So that's how I've been able to hit a lot of ground.
So do you have virtual classes also, or is everything in person?
Great question. Absolutely. I actually just took teen credit, which I've always done teen credit virtually, but it was via Zoom. So it was live. But to hit more ground and to reach more teens, and I wanted them to be able to get the information at their fingertips at any time. If it's 2 a.m. and they can't sleep, I want them to be able to tap into some curriculum.
Right.
So what I did was I formulated like a pre-recorded virtual session. And it's actually on YouTube. You guys can go find it at TEA Foundation. Go subscribe on YouTube. Okay. And it's a full hour presentation that's really breaking down the game. So a teenager can go to that right now and get the full presentation for free. So I do that. The only one that I don't have virtually at the moment, at least pre-recorded, is the credit and cocktails. But I do have a business credit one pre-recorded as well. So yes, people can literally tap in virtually live when I'm in your state. You know, I have, my goal was to give options. So that's what I do.
That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna have my 13-year-olds take a look at that YouTube, because like I said, the earlier we find out, the earlier we know. Because for me, like I said, I wasn't finding out anything till I was filling out an application, filling out a credit app for a car or for an apartment, because I'm grown and but don't know grown things, you know. So yeah, I just thought, man, what a great idea. We're gonna switch up, because you've been given a different, you're now the face of the African Exchange educational program. So tell us what that is.
Yes, the Educational Exchange Program is for youth and adults, and it's in Uganda, Africa. So really, I'm like an ambassador now of Uganda, Africa. Super excited. You know, I'm actually partnered directly with the parliament. So it's not just, you know, something I'm saying. It's like, you know, in the parliament, for those who are watching who don't know what that is, it's like the White House here in America. That's like the White House in Africa. So it's a super big deal. And what they basically really want me to do is we're bridging the gap. So I go over there to Africa. I just got back at the end of July. It was fabulous. So I'll be going over there to give financial literacy education. We'll also be rolling out a new program called FIN. It actually stands for Future Entrepreneurs Network. And it'll be for adults to where we'll literally be taking people over there, adults over there, teaching them about real estate, how to buy land. Wow. You're watching and you are thinking about investing, Africa is set to literally triple in population within the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
That is a place where you definitely want to start investing. So we're definitely going to be able to bridge the gap, get people over there, not obviously even just for business, you know, but they obviously want me to too, just get people over there to get them to understand that, you know, you can vacation in Africa. Yeah. Africa is not, you know, what we were taught, you know, unfortunately. It's not a bunch of, you know, poor kids running around and it's not dangerous. As soon as you get off on a plane, we're going to die, get kidnapped, whatever the case is, you know. Of course, you know, there's dangerous areas, just like there's dangerous areas here in America. Right. You know, but our main mission is definitely to get more people over there, you know. So I'll be able to, with the adult exchange program, I will be able to take adults over there with me and really just give them a VIP experience of the culture. And when I say VIP, I mean, you know, we went to, when I was there this last time, which was really great, we went to the Uganda Zoo. It's like the Wildlife Center is what it's called. And we got to go behind the scenes. So we actually got to go like almost in the cages with the lions, with, you know, but it's completely safe though.
Right.
So we'll get VIP experiences. We went on safaris. We did a lot. Is
that all funded through donations, or how is that fun? How's everything?
Yeah, good question. Donations, definitely. Donations and grants. You know, obviously we're a nonprofit. We're 501c3 approved. So we definitely have to have help from the community to make this happen. Now, complete transparency though, you know, grants didn't come in like I thought they would. So a lot of the funding, came from myself as well as my vice president, as well as a few other people that came together and, decided to be sponsors and donate. But to be honest, LaRhonda, we did not get a lot of support with our very first year with the mentorship, but that's never stopped us. So we still made it happen, but we're hoping that this coming year, because we're getting ready to roll it out again, that we definitely get some more support. And I don't think it's because people didn't want to support it. I think it was just people didn't know.
Don't know. Right. They just
when
didn't
you're starting
know.
a new program, you got to get the word out there. I feel like if more people would have known about it, I know people would have definitely supported. So hopefully this coming year in 2024, we're going to do some better marketing and, really just get it out there. But yes, we hope to get grants and donations for sure.
That's going to be awesome. I saw this, and so I'm going to let the people see this. This was so beautiful.
I have such a heart for teenagers and for youth because, like my mother said, this is my mother. We go through so much as teens, so much. We are trying to discover who we are. Aren't you guys trying to discover who you are right now? Yeah. Is that true? Would you guys agree with that? So that's what we do at Extra Foundation is we help you do that to discover who you are. Because when you don't know who you are, you'll fall for anything. And then someone can easily come in your life and tell you who you are. But if you know, and when you tap into God and He tells you, then nobody can tell you who you are. Sure. So that's what we do here at Extra Foundation. So we are thrilled to be here with you guys today. And I love all of you.
I love that you have your mom next to you. Yes. That is everything to me because if I'm doing something, my mom's going to be next to me. I love that. My mom was also a woman that she taught like for a few years over in Africa, taught the teachers how to teach in Africa. So she's, like you said, I was a person that did not want to go visit Africa and have no intentions. And I could not understand why my mother was just so drawn to it and still is, and, but she was in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, that's the part that she was in. And lived there a couple of years, like I said, teaching, and she would come back and forth. So, but she loves it, just like the way you explain it is not what you think it is. It's one of the most beautiful places, and then it's close to different countries, so you can just go dip and go to a different country.
Absolutely.
And see the world. And they treat us differently, of course.
Oh my God, they do. They treated me, they think I'm a celebrity when I go there. Like even when I went to the schools to speak, it was moments, LaRhonda, where I couldn't even move.
Wow.
They were swarming me. They treat you wonderful. Because I've even heard that misconception, that Africans are rude and they think they're better than everybody. And so when I went over there, I was just like, they are so not like that. They're so sweet.
Mama, I was just saying last week on the show that my mom was telling me about because she would be alone a lot. And so she would walk the streets alone. And she said there's always a man on the right-hand side of the street watching and making sure you're getting to your destination. Okay. When one stop, another one comes, and they're watching, they're making sure you're protected. I said, oh my goodness, we don't feel nothing like that in America.
Absolutely,
but there's some place in Ethiopia that they love they women so much that they want to make sure that they're getting to their destination. So yeah, it has to be something different.
Absolutely. It's in the soil. It's just the energy. The energy is so pure. It's one of those things that you just can't explain. You got to go see for yourself. My mom, this back in July, that was her first time going. And she, the things that she said before we went, because she was excited, but,
a little leery.
Right, misconceptions in there. But once we got back, I asked her, I said, so what are your thoughts now? Are they still the same? She was like, oh my God, absolutely not. So it's just something that everybody has to experience
for themselves. Yeah, I get it. So on your Facebook page, you have phrases like creating healthy humans in your bio. Tell us what you mean by that.
Yes, that's a wonderful question. So creating healthy humans is on so many different levels. We're talking about physical, we're talking about mental and emotional well-being. And that's what we target, and with youth and adults. We're actually getting ready to roll out some new stuff with the adults. But right now, the creating healthy humans, we're living in a space, so many people, I know everybody around the world is seeing everything that's going on in the schools and all the shootings. I know there was just a couple in Oklahoma City.
Right.
And we've really been trying to really thinking about it. And I've actually been talking to politicians about this. I mean, we've been on whole panel discussions trying to get to the root cause. And I really believe the root cause is mental health related. So when I, refer to creating healthy humans, like I said, I'm talking about physically, mentally, emotional well-being.
Right.
So when we talk about physical, some of the signs that we see in youth as well as adults that kind of tell us, we may need to work on the well-being, a little bit more is, illnesses, if they're, frequently sick, adults that's listening to this, these are signs for you as well, unexplained weight loss or gain, poor hygiene, unhealthy eating habits, these are all part of your physical health. Then you have mental and emotional, like I mentioned, sadness, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, these are all considered, as well, unhealthy, human symptoms. And then of course, neglecting self-care. You have some people that don't even want to go to the doctor and they don't want to, they got symptoms, but they're kind of scared to even go see what it is, and then unhealthy relationships, and we've ran into teenagers, that they, seem to want the boy that, let's see how to say this.
The bad boy. We can say the bad boy.
Yeah, exactly. A bad boy. I like that. A bad boy. So these are just some things that, we really wanted to target, in both, like I said, adults and youth. So our goal is to definitely create healthy humans on all aspects.
I like that. As the younger we can get that out, get the message out, the better. I love how everybody is trying to figure out a way to educate the young people on mental health. And because you're so right, I feel like that's the forefront of all of our issues is mental health. Even, sometimes in our Christian faith, we act like that's enough. No, it's not, and I am a child of God. I love him, but I still need my therapist. Okay.
Yep, I'm glad you mentioned that, LaRhonda, because that's another thing that is just, we want to reduce the stigma. We really want to reduce the stigma behind mental health. Like, and to also make people understand that, I've noticed that some people think, excuses anyway, I can't go to therapy, I don't have money.
Right.
It's not even always they don't want to. They think they have to have a lot of money. And obviously, depending on which counselor or whatever therapist you go to, it may cost money, or your insurance may can cover it. But see, another thing, which is what I did on my personal journey and what I still do, I watched the #1 health podcast in the world, the Jay Shetty podcast. Okay. I'm constantly feeding myself.
Right.
And it can get you in the exact same spot as if you were to go to a therapist. Now, obviously, some people do need a therapist, especially if they're in the beginning stages where they're trying to get to the root of a cause.
Right.
And sometimes you need a little help to go back and kind of sift through some of that stuff. But if you already kind of know what the issue is, whether it's past childhood trauma, whatever may have happened to you, in your childhood years, then you can literally start from there.
Right.
And because there's so much information online, there's so many podcasts out there, healthy podcasts, there's so much healthy education, and we just got to take it upon ourselves to tap into it.
That's right. I think it's that accountability on our own. Because I mean, again, everybody do not have insurance, but there are different routes you can take.
Absolutely,
just like you stated. I think it's just being intentional with your mental health. You have to you have to be intentional with that, just like you are with your medical health, just like you are with anything in your life. We have to, it starts with our mental, like it starts with our mindset. So we got to make sure that mindset.
Absolutely. And I like you said that, because that's what made us kind of bridge the gap. Some people have been wondering, like, okay, you you've mixed financial literacy with mental health. And I'm like, absolutely, because just like you have to manage your finances, you gotta manage your mental health.
That's
You
right.
gotta manage your thoughts.
Yeah.
You gotta manage your energy, your frequency,
That's
all of that's involved with your mental health. So I really felt like both of them combined was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Okay, so I read a lot of your posts, so because you know what, I can not just identify, but you look like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we have a lot of the same things that we've gone through a couple of things. So I'm always, and these are other ways that I am taking control of my mental health, because I'm reading different things that can put my state of mind so in a different spot. So you posted, if you hang around with people who act like you aren't who you are, then eventually you'll forget who you are. The company you keep is important. Explain that.
Yes. I'm so glad you asked me about that, because that was when I made that post. It was actually something, a lot of things that I post, they don't always relate directly to me, obviously, because I just love to inspire, but it's typically always something that I've personally been through, or that I've personally experienced or going through. And that particular post was something that I had personally experienced. It was a time in my life, not too long ago, to be honest, where I got into a space where I lost myself. I forgot who I was. Meaning I forgot the resilience in me. I forgot my calling. I forgot the mission.
Right.
And the reason, and I'm not, I don't do the pointing finger thing, but one of the reasons was I noticed that it was one of the companies that I was keeping. This particular person was just not supportive, constantly belittling me, constantly making me feel like I wasn't good enough, constantly, just being that person. I call it a negative Nancy or a negative, and I was also in a space, I started my personal healing journey through some childhood traumas, about 2 or 3 years ago was when it first started. So I was in I was in a very vulnerable space, a space to where I was a little unsure about myself. I was a little unsure of a lot of things, to be completely honest. So when you are in that space and you are trying to heal and you are kind of unsure of yourself a little bit, it's easy for someone else to come in, which is why those teens that it's easy for somebody else to come in and tell you who you are and get you off your game.
Right.
And what happened? I got off my game. And it really made me think about like, wow, and once I removed this person out of my life, I mean, things just started just coming. I mean, abundance, just prosperity. Just things just started flourishing. And it just really made me think about like, wow, the people you keep around you really is so important, because during that same time, I had that negative Nate there. God sent an old friend that has been my friend and has watched my journey for years, sent this person into my life as a reminder of who I am. This person has been watching me from day one. I haven't talked to them in a long time, and they were just like, wow, De'iona, you've been doing this, and it really put fire back into me. I needed to hear it, and obviously that made me think about, wow, it's important the company you keep, because I had this over here that got me off my game, and then I had someone who was aligned with me, placed back in my path to support me and get me back on track, and so that's where that post came from. A lot of times we really don't observe who's around us, especially if you're someone who lives with us, or it's a mom, or it's someone close to us. We don't observe those things, but it's so important, because we are a reflection of who's around us.
That's right.
So if you're around people who don't believe in you, who don't support you, who are constantly talking down on you, you're going to be in that exact same place with them, and you're eventually going to start believing it, and then you'll forget who you are.
That's it. This one got me. What I think I woke up to this one, and I was like in that space, and I was like, what the heck? Are you healed? This is how I read it. This how I read it. Are you healed or just isolated with no one to trigger you? Woo! Yeah, I was like in my room of isolation while I was reading that, but I was like, but this is protection, you know what I'm saying? No, but I need you to explain that.
Yes, yes. I will, because it was so interesting to see the comments.
Yeah.
Because people, it was a serious question. I
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
So many people were like, yes, I'm protecting myself. So many
Yeah.
people like both. And
Right.
this is my thought process on it. I feel like you cannot technically say you're healed unless it's been put to the test.
That's right.
So a lot of people, we run around here, including myself,
Mm-hmm.
we think we're healed until that person comes along. Remember, I was telling you about that negative Nate I had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until that person comes along, and then you completely spaz out on them,
Yeah.
or you completely get out of character.
Yes.
That is the moment that you can pinpoint, am I healed?
Yeah, am I healed?
Am I healed? When things like that come up unexpectedly, that's when you know. But if you're not even around people, you're isolating yourself, you don't go nowhere, you done blocked everybody.
Yeah.
So, you really can't put
in
that
my feet.
right. And see, and I understand that too. I do understand, your boundaries, your peace, especially if it's someone that might try to trigger you. It's obviously smart to kind of stay away from that person.
Right.
But you definitely, can't get to a point to where like you're just not even going around anybody. You're not really stepping outside the house. You're not really making new friendships. You're not, you're not dating. You're not doing anything, because you won't really know where you're at in your journey until you do. Because perfect example, when I started dating a guy about, about 5 years ago. And we were dating for years. We were dating for quite a while. Until we decided to go from dating to, okay, let's take it to the next level. Let's really see if we can, make this a lifetime thing. Once that happened, that's when I knew. That's when it hit me. Like, ooh, you got some stuff in there, girl, that you need to go ahead and you need to start cleaning out. But again, a lot of us don't know until we get in those serious relationships, and so we're trying to love us, or basically, give us what we need out of that relationships and what we need. A man just trying to love you, a woman trying to love you, and you can't even receive it.
You can't receive it. Yeah.
Because you're so just, I call it, your cup is just filled with junk.
Yeah.
And my cup was filled with junk, and I didn't really know. I thought I was okay. I knew that I was a little bitter, because I experienced a lot with my child's father. I have an 8-year-old son, and I did experience a lot with him, so I knew that I kind of maybe had some little things there, but I definitely did not know it was as deep as it was.
Yeah.
Until I got into that relationship and I started realizing some things that I, just had issues trusting. It was just some things that popped up. So,
when it ties into your childhood and all that come about, you just be like, oh God, these are why I've made the decisions I've made. This is why I've made the choices I've made. So, I am glad I'm on the other side of that. I'm as well as you. I'm sure you are happy you are on the other side of it. But it is definitely a journey that everybody should go through, because it's more good than anything. It does.
It is, and put it to the test.
Yes, and put it to the. I agree.
And talk to that person again, and not forever, but talk to that person real quick. And then too, I think it gives you confidence. When you do talk to that person or whatever it is. It may not even be a person. It could be a thing. It could be something at your job. I don't know.
Right.
Once you do and you don't react like you would have reacted, it makes you feel so proud, and it gives you the confidence, of like, you don't know me anymore, because that's what that is. That's what it's doing.
Well, I can shut that off because I got so much more stuff on me that I was talking to somebody one day, they was talking about they was healed. I was like, healed? You all healed? And you still on this earth? Because I thought, you had to be with Jesus to be totally healed.
And see, and that's a good a point too, because I hear a lot of people say, you can never be healed. that it's a constant journey, you know, and I gotta have some pushback on that just a little bit, because I do believe you can be healed. I mean, it kind of goes back to what we're talking about now with the triggers.
Yeah.
You know, the moment that you're no longer triggered, you are healed.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe that you can be healed, but I also do believe that there could be some other things that
It's
you
other stuff. Yeah.
So I do believe that it's a constant journey.
Yeah, it's a constant. He's constantly pruning us. He's constantly showing us ourselves and where we need improvement.
Yes, I love
that. About under construction. We always are going to be under
I
construction.
love that. Yep.
But we're always a work in progress, and we can always do better, be better, love better. You know, receive.
And I love that. Under construction. I absolutely love that. That's beautiful, because that's so true. Under construction is
everybody
sure.
is.
You can be healed.
Yeah.
You can be healed from childhood trauma, things like that. But you should always be in a state of constant evolving.
That's right.
Under construction. I love it.
That's right. You should be evolving, and it should be allowed to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, without having to worry about what anybody has to say about you. And so I appreciate what you're having to say. What was that other one I wanted to hold on? What is something that people tell themselves? Okay. This one. One of the worst things you can do is judge someone's story by the chapter you walked in on.
Man, that's another one I personally experienced. You know, I think we as people got to be very careful about the way that we treat people when we first meet someone. You know, be very, careful about prejudging people. And, because we all are walking our own path. We're all on our own journey. You know, we all have seasons where we're up. We all have seasons where we're down.
Right.
And I just feel like you should never come into someone's life and judge them by the season that they're on.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of that happens, again, it personally happened to me. I started, dating a guy, and he didn't know anything. We didn't follow each other on social media or anything. So he didn't really know anything, about, any of the work that I do and how long I've been doing it or anything, and you can, with that type of outlook of not being open to getting to know someone, you can unintentionally disrespect them.
Yeah.
And so I posted that to get people to kind of think about that.
That's good.
Before they judge, before they treat people away, because it even brings up a point of you never know who a person's going to be either.
Right.
You never know when you're talking to the next Oprah.
Right.
To the next Beyonce.
That's right.
So you should always be mindful, that just because I've met this person and they're in this season, that doesn't, determine the entire rest of their book. They could have had 10 beautiful seasons before that, and then they hit this patch when God is really working on them, because we're all on our own journey.
Right.
But you've judged them from that one chapter, so you could have missed out on a wonderful person all because you judged them on that one chapter.
That's good.
So I just wanted people to just really be mindful of that.
How much do our social media posts affect how people perceive us through the lens of dating, spirituality, and business, you think? How do you think?
I think a lot. I think, people prejudge. You know what I'm saying? I think people try to pinpoint who you are based on social media.
Right.
I think people try to also put you in boxes based on social media. And say, for instance, like perfect example, like myself, being a youth leader, I actually make it intentional to be authentic.
Right.
I make it intentional to still be myself.
Right.
Because people will try to put you in this box and put this label on you and say, oh, well, she's a youth leader, so she shouldn't do that, or she shouldn't wear that, or she shouldn't say that.
Right.
Oh, yes, I am a youth leader, but I'm still De'iona Monay. I'm still a
That's
mother.
right.
I'm still a woman, honey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just saying, like my whole identity is not based around me being a youth leader. That's just a God-given gift, that God gave me, and one of my purposes on this mission. So I think it affects a lot. I think people, take it and run with it. I think some people get great perceptions, but then of course, I think people definitely get the wrong perception.
Yeah.
But I think it shapes a lot, though, for sure.
It does. And for the most part, I'm pretty authentic on my. I'm too. I am too. Like sometimes I'll think like, I hope my pastor didn't see this.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and post this, but it's never anything that's crazy, because we still, we still got some sense about ourselves. I'm not posting no crazy business, no gossip. It's really motivational, or like you said, we're a single woman, and if we thinking we looking cute today, we might just post how cute we're looking.
Exactly, and that's how I feel about it. I'm like, listen, this is me, and I just never wanted. I want when people book De'iona Monay, I want them to know they're booking De'iona Monay.
Right.
You're not booking Oprah. You're not booking Ellen. You're not booking Lisa Nichols. You're booking De'iona Monay, and I only can be me. And like you said, it's still, I'm gonna always keep it professional.
That's right.
Because I do care about my brand, but I'm gonna be me, and it just is what it is.
But being you is what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with being me. And don't worry about it. I'm not going to embarrass anybody, especially myself.
Exactly. And especially my brand,
I tell my mom all the time, I'll be like, Mama, God know who he called. He know who he called. He know who he put in this position. He knew I was going to wear them jeans before I did. Okay.
And he did it for a reason, because I really feel like, even with me visiting these schools, I don't come in this two-piece suit and trying to be all with my briefcase and because I want these kids to be able to relate to me.
That's right.
On you look like me.
That's
right.
My
goal. I don't want to go in there and make it seem like what I'm doing is not obtainable.
It's not obtainable.
I want them to see me. I want them to see a woman that, got some curves and stuff and don't have to get on the pole. They don't have to be a Cardi B. They don't have to do that. You can still be beautiful. You can still be curvy. You can still, dress sexy here and there. You can still be you and, have a fulfilled mission. You can still be classy, because that's another thing, is class is not a look. It's the characters. It's your character. It's your values, So,
right.
So that's another thing, that I just really wanted them to see. I wanted them to see someone authentic and, and see that, man, okay, if she can do it, I can do it.
That's what's up. Let me just say that you being authentic is, I think, what draws the people more than anything. And you ain't bad to look at either, but I'm just saying you're authentic. Yeah, it draws the people when I can relate to something and people are approachable and don't mind me touching them. That's always, and for those kids to see that, I just think it's awesome. Yeah. I think I hate that the state of Arizona has taken a gem, but I'm glad that you are coming back.
I am coming back, and to be honest, I will be there often, and I don't know if this move is a permanent move, because I'm actually getting ready to open up some group homes.
Okay.
Yep, for teenage girls. So I'm going to definitely be up and through there quite a bit.
That's good. You mean here or in Arizona?
In Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So I most likely I'll be back because I'll have too much business there. So yep, I will be back.
Okay. And I know you're not a therapist, but I just had a question here. What is something that you think people, in your opinion, tell themselves that they think is helping them, but really it's hurting them?
That's a good question. What do people tell themselves that they think are helping, but it's really hurting them? I would definitely say the one that sticks out to me most is when people say, oh, I'm just venting, or I'm just letting off some steam, by constantly complaining or focusing on the negative aspects of their lives. That's the one that I probably see the most, that people do, and they don't realize that they're actually, by doing that, you're reinforcing negative patterns. You're hindering problem solving. How can you be solution oriented if you're constantly focusing on the negative and you're constantly focusing on everything that's going wrong?
everything that's going
One of the
on.
people that I listen to, for even the listeners, one of the people that I listen to on a daily basis that really helped me manage my thoughts, because for those who are watching, if you don't know now, your thoughts are creating everything around you. It's
That's
a
it.
frequency. And one of the people that I follow that really helped me a lot with this is Abraham Hicks, is her name. And she really teaches you how to focus on the good. That way you can draw more good in. Because as long as you're focusing on the negative, it's like a magnet. You're going to attract more negative. And one of the manifestation quotes that we say very often is, everything happens to me. Excuse me. What is it? One's for money. I receive money easily and frequently. That's one. So if you're struggling with money, that's one that you can say an affirmation. And the other one, why can I not think of it right now? Everything is always working out for me. That's the other one. Everything's always working out for me. No matter what it looks like, everything's always working out for me. Even the bad, God has got a plan. When that one door shuts, that job fired me, God's got another one getting ready to open.
That's right.
Everything is always working out for me. Your outlook on life is shaping everything around you.
That's right. Your mindset, we discussed, that's what I talked about last week, was the mindset. Your mind, that you need to start thinking about what you're thinking about, because you can control your thoughts. You don't have to keep those same thoughts in your head. You can change your thoughts.
Because they get on autopilot. So many people don't even know what they're thinking about. That's why I love what you just said, because that's one of the things that I say often is, think about what you're thinking about. The majority, the average person, time alone that they get to think is about 5 minutes while they're in the shower. That's it. The majority of the world always consistently have people around them, always on the phone, always on social media, at work. And of course, you guys, this was the plan. The plan was to keep us so busy,
distracted
to where we couldn't think.
That's it.
So to me, I feel like the secret sauce is to think about what you're thinking about.
That's what's up. Please let me know next time you in Oklahoma City. Would love to take you to brunch and just be in your presence. Now, before you go, we have one segment of Under Construction. It's called the No Judgment Zone. So no one's going to judge you, no matter however you answer, okay?
Right.
Whose piece would you rather have? Whose piece would you rather have? Omarion or Lorenz Tate?
Peace.
Like, they have peaceful, like peace, like
okay, like just they're peaceful. They're
just peace. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Lorenz Tate or Omarion? I would say Lorenz Tate.
Me too.
Yeah,
Keke Palmer or Tia Mowry?
Keke Palmer.
Jill Scott or Erykah Badu?
Ooh, you got me with that one. Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, that's a real hard one.
We'll come back.
Okay.
Andre 3000 or Common?
Common.
Tracy Ellis Ross or Maya?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
And last but not least, Jill Scott or Erykah Badu?
Jill Scott. Jill Scott. Ooh, that was hard.
I'm judging.
Oh my God. That was hard though. Oh my God. Because I listen to so much Erykah Badu. But ooh, there's something about Jill. I just love me some Jill.
Yes, that's my girl too. Well, thank you so much. You have been so awesome. So awesome. And so guys, look her up. All her information is there at the bottom. I'm gonna let you go. And again, thank you so much. Now I'm gonna repost some things, so I'll tag you on the repost.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks to everybody that is watching and is going to be watching. And make sure you guys follow me.
All right, you have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right, guys. So I really appreciate you guys going with me this last season. This is the last show of this season, so I'll be back in December sometime, and I definitely will be posting over the next couple of months just different replays of the different shows we've had, because we've had some great great guests all season long, and I haven't had a chance to repost those, so I will be reposting them over the next couple of months, and we'll see you guys back in December. So thank you so much again for making this such a successful 5th season. So we'll be back in our 6th season come this December. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye.